Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic for CSS, that is another color model, HSL or HSLA model. Okay, so this is again a color model that we can use to apply some color either on font, background or as a border. Okay. Prior to this session, we have already discussed many other color models like RGB, RGBA, and also we discussed about the predefined color name. So this session is in the continuation of the same, and where we will talk what is the HSL model, why do we need HSL model, how to apply color using HSL model. Then we will discuss what is HSLA, what is L there, what is A in HSLA. Okay, we will compare RGB and HSL model. Okay, and we will see the practical examples also. But before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just focusing mainly on what is HSL model. But prior to that, you should know about the basic of HTML and CSS. You can follow the playlist which is already created there. Alright, fine. Now we will look at the code. So code is very simple and straightforward. We have just noted down one title in the head section. There is one heading, HTML CSS Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit. And if I show you the output, it is coming like this. Okay, fine. Now what we will do after this, I'll put one heading here, and heading would be the main topic of today's. So HSL and HSLA model, HSL and HSL color model in CSS. Okay, you can simply put like this, and then you can save it and refresh it. So once you refresh it, you will see that this color is now this heading is now populated on the browser. Perfect. Now before learning about any model or any concept, we should know about the definition. So let's start with the definition itself. So HSL and HSLA color model in CSS, let's say if someone asks you what is HSL and HSLA color model, so you can simply say that CSS provides several ways to define color, and one of the most intuitive and flexible model is HSL, where HSL stands for hue, saturation, lightness. Similarly, we have another model which also provide a way to control the transparency, which is known as HSLA, where H stands for hue, S stands for saturation, L stands for lightness, and A stands for alpha. Clear? Now these model allows for easier manipulation of colors compared to traditional RGB and HEX or hex format. Okay, so this is the definition if someone asks you. Now we will talk about the syntax, like how to use this color model. So to use this color model, let me show you the syntax first. I'll write it in a comment, and then we will see the practical example also. So syntax for HSL model. Okay, and here we will write let's say we are writing inline CSS, so after that you can write like this: HSL, where hue, saturation, lightning. Okay, we can write like this. Okay, fine. Now HSL meaning is clear, that H is for hue, S is for saturation, and L is for lightning. But what it means, so if someone asks you what is hue, so you can say that hue represent the type of color and is measured in degrees from 0 to 360 degree. Okay, on a color wheel. So you can assume there is a color wheel where we have degrees from 0 degree to 360 degree. Then this is called like hue can be represented through this color wheel, where 0 degree represent red, 60 degree represent yellow, 120 degree represent green, 180 degree represent cyan, 240 degrees representing blue, and 300 is representing magenta. Similarly, 360 is for red, where the wheel will loop back. Okay, So if you are providing the first value as 60 degrees, so for sure it would show you the yellow color. Clear? So this is all about hue. Similarly, we have saturation. Now what is saturation? So saturation is the value that shows the intensity or purity of the color expressed in percentage. Okay, so it shows the purity and the intensity of the color in percentage, where 0% represent grayscale with no color, 100% represent full color. Okay, mostly we go with the 100% because we wanted to show some color, right? Similarly, we have lightness. Lightness defines the brightness of the color, which is also in a percentage. So if you are providing lightness value as 0%, it shows black as a darkest. Then if you are using 100%, it shows white as a lightest. And if you are using 50, it shows normal color brightness. So that's why we always go with a 50. So this is all about HSL, hue, saturation and lightening. Similarly, we have another model which is called HSLA. So let me show you the syntax for that also, and then we will see the practical thing. So here I'll put HSLA, where A represent the alpha. Okay, and here we can simply say that A is for controlling the transparency or opacity of the color. Okay, I'll show you now. We can start the discussion, practical discussion. So let me put one more heading here, H2. We can go with H2, and here I'll write HSL color model in CSS. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll put another heading H3, and here I can write anything like HSL color model. Okay, now to apply a background color, we will use HSL model. So here firstly I'll use inline CSS background color, and in background color we will write HSL, where I'll apply the color as red. So if you want to apply red color, you can put 0, because we discussed about the wheel, right? If you don't know, you can go back and see that part where I explain all the hue, saturation, okay, in the same session. So 0, 100, 50%. Okay, now you can save it and refresh it. So you can see it is coming with a red background. Similarly, if I want to apply a different color, for example, I want to show pure green color. So in case of pure green, I can change the value to 120 degree and it will come with a green color. Likewise, if I want to change the color to pure blue, so in that case I can go with a 240 degree. So these are degree. Okay, the first value is degree, so it is coming with a blue color. Likewise, if I want to go with a yellow color, so in that case I can go with a 60 degree. So if you put it as 60, it will come like this. Likewise, if you want to go with 300 degree, so it will show a different color, which is a magenta color. So it is coming like this. Okay, similarly, if you want to show a cyan color, so in that case you can put 180 here. So 180 degree would come as a cyan color. Clear? So this is how we can apply the colors using HSL model in CSS. Similarly, if someone asks you to apply for HSLA model, so let me show you. I'll just put heading like this. Fine. Now I'll copy one of the color, for example red color. I want to use red color but with different opacity or transparency. So in that case I just need to write here A, HSLA, where A stands for alpha, and here I can put the value as 0.1. Save it, not like this. Let me show you. So it is coming like this. Here I can put 0.6. So you can see the color intensity is changed. This is the normal red color and this is the HSLA applied red color, where I change the intensity to 0.6. Similarly, if I make it as 0.3, so it will be look like this. Okay, so this is how we can control the intensity for a color applied using HSLA model. So if you have if you know about the RGBA model, so you can relate it with that model only, because it is similar to that. Now if someone asks you what is the difference between HSL, HSLA and RGB, so HSL and HSLA are almost same. The only difference is the alpha or opacity control. But in case of comparison, if we compare RGB and HSL, then you can say that in terms of human readability, HSLA model are more intuitive, where RGB is harder to visualize. In case of ease of adjustment, yes, HSL is easier to create tints and shade, but RGB is in case of RGB more difficult to manipulate brightness. In case of transparency, HSL provide HSLA for opacity, where RGB provide RGBA for opacity. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. Today we just discussed what is HSL model, how to use HSLA model. Okay, so in the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.